Okay, Dr. Fisher, let's be real here. How long is this going to take? So, that's a really common question that I have. So, it's a very interesting question that requires a little bit of specifics to talk about. So, the reality is in a regular situation with someone who is uber motivated, who puts tons of time and energy and effort and is totally open to the process of ripping band-aids off and moving things just as absolutely fast as possible, I have seen some mind-bending changes that happen with people. Now, the majority of the people who come in here, though, are probably more like myself, who like to take it at a reasonable pace and occasionally even at a snail's pace. And so it's important for you to understand that depending on what you're looking for, that also depends on the effort and energy that you're putting into this process. So if there's a bunch of resistance, there's a bunch of difficulties moving forward, know that this process is probably going to take a little bit longer time frame. Again, it's not impossible. I have seen crazy, amazing things. Now, again, that doesn't mean that everything's going to fix right away, but we see some pretty awesome changes happen with people who are ready, willing, and put forth tons of time and energy into transitioning their own selves into a newer, healthier, different person, basically. So that's totally possible. So, but it's important to understand again, if you are expecting instant results with very little work, the chances of that happening are probably low, and we need to readjust expectations. But again, we want to meet you right where you are. So if that's a very important factor in this matter, that you see some changes right away, we need to make sure that we continue to have an open discussion about it. I'm a very oriented, goal-driven, motivated person. I like to get people results, as my staff can tell you. It's also important to understand that we have to have that balance between what's realistic, again, to be able to identify how do we move you forward in a way that works best with you, so we can work lockstep with you, sync up with you, and go at a pace that you can actually sustain. I oftentimes think of it like at the beginning of the new year, when people start with New Year's resolutions that are unrealistic and too much. Kind of like if you take a toddler who's just learned to walk and expect them to run a 5K in a reasonably short amount of time, it's probably unrealistic, right? A lot of people have those unrealistic expectations at the beginning of the year and burn themselves out and only are able to sustain those things for a short period of time. We're not about that. We are not about yo-yo dieting. We're not about yo-yo symptom relief up and down. We are about helping you get better, stay better, and understand what you can do every day to establish routine and or systematized approaches to be able to stay that way over the long haul.